LeJuan Love. I'm from Miami.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, LeJuan. How'd you get your start in the business?
An hour every day. Um, now, actually, I was a kid uh, running the streets. I'm on a Huffy bike, riding around like I usually do. This is how I actually started from the very beginning. What inspired me to be a rap artist. I come across this tape, Run DMC, Tila Rock is on it, and I take it home. I'm out running through some cars or whatever. I'm out going to cassette deck, and I get this cassette. So I take it home, I put it in, and I hear boom, get. Sucker MC, Run DMC. Next song I hear, Tila Rock is yours. And I said to myself, that's what I want to do. So I taught myself how to rap. Um, I go teaching myself how to rap, riding around on my bike, making up rhymes, off the head or whatever. Um, Around this time, I'm in the sixth grade. Shortly after I go over to junior high school, first day of school, I go in the lunchroom and they're banging, rapping on the tables, banging on the tables. I'm like, oh, I could do that. I had never seen that. I've just always been solo, rapping, teaching myself how to rap. So it's like, let me get in. He let me in. I rap. It's like, you can rap. Yeah. So one guy says, I live next door to Two Live Crew. The light goes off. So we become friends or whatever. As a matter of fact, that same day, I go over and Two Live Crew is not there. And he's like, come back tomorrow. They'll be here tomorrow. So I go over the next day. They're there. And I went every day, every day. I would even go over when they were out of town or scheduled to go on tour. I would go over to make sure they're gone. And Mr. Mix would practice, and I would watch. That's how I got my start. That's how that part started.
Now, um, when did your stuff come about? As far as when did they start mixing with you that they wanted to do a song, a song for you?
Um, I guess it was maybe a year or so later. After just being around, I moved to another area, so I didn't go over as much. So I was missing. It's like, where's LeJuan? I run into Marquise. She's like, hey, we've been looking for you. Where you been? Luke wants you to make a record. That's all I needed to hear. So I'm darting across the street. I didn't even look for cars. Mom, I want to make a record. Can I make a record? That's how that came about. I ended up going to the Pac Jam is what we called it. That's where everything was located, 1205 Northwest 54th Street. And it was like a, what do you call it? Not an interview,
Audition type deal?
an audition. Yeah, I haven't heard that word in so long. It was an audition. Um, so I do the audition, and then shortly after that, a couple of days later, me and Mr. Mix we hook up, and he comes up with this beat, and it's the everybody say yeah beat, and that's how it started.
The Stevie Wonder deal.
Yeah, around that time they had just finished, or they were working on their next album. Two Live is what we are. No, that was the first album. Move Something was the next album they did. So he had already made the production beats for Move Something, and um, the Everybody Say Yeah beat was in the mix of that, and he played it for me. He gave it to me on the cassette. It's like, hey, take this and write a song to it. So I take it home, and I'm thinking, what can I write about? I need something to write about. I was listening to the beat. Everybody say yeah. I'm listening to it, and so at the time when I would write, um, I got into writing. I wasn't a writer. I would just freestyle and make it up out of my head. But hanging around with the other guys, it's like, you don't write? And I was like, no, you're supposed to write. I started writing. So I did a bit of both at the time. But I'm looking around the house for different ideas, things like that. And I go through the TV guide and I see The Littlest Outlaw in the movie section. So I sat at the kitchen table. I'm an outlaw, outdoing everybody. That's how it came about. Wrote the verse. Went back to Mr. Mix, say, I got it, I'm ready. Shortly after that, at the time we were recording in Inner Circle Studio. That's where I did that. And who knew?
Now, how was the effect as far as like because you were 12 years old, you're in school with records out,
Oh man.
obviously.
Before then, average Joe Blow kid. I'm known for rapping or whatever because in the morning that's what we would do. First thing in the morning before school started, we would rap, bang on the doors, bang on the tables, wherever we can get a beatbox, and rap. Um, so this is every morning, and shortly after that, hey, I'm gonna make a record. The kid's like, no, you're not. So I ended up making a record, and no one knew at the time. It hit the fan when the photographer showed up at the school for the album cover, and that's when everything changed for me.